everyone. I am Elif and this is Confidence Leads to Success. If anyone knows about overcoming obstacles and following their passion, it's Michelle. Michelle from Breedon Perfumery. She is so phenomenal. She created this business out of a need to look after her family following her husband having a serious accident. And that financial ruin, and the family for a time had to rely on the food banks, and turned that into a successful business. It's just so inspiring. When I read her story, I thought, oh my goodness, I've got to have this phenomenal woman on my interview series to not only learn from her. Her courage is just so inspiring, but also inspire you. If you ever feel stuck, that you can't do anything, you're on your right ground floor, just listen to this because you're gonna love it. Hello, Michelle, welcome.
Thank you for having me on.
It is so good to have you. I would love you to tell us a bit more about your business later on, but I just want to ask you something. What was that, the first courage that you had in yourself to make that decision, and where it all started?
Well, to be honest, courage, I wouldn't really say I've even got courage now. So it's really hard to say, you know, a particular moment. I still kind of like feel at the moment like I'm flying by the seat of my pants, and every day is just something new is happening and it's really exciting. But I just think, because I don't know if how much of the story anybody knows, but during that time, and it was so difficult, it was that one sample sized of body lotion that I received, and I remember after using it, I just felt incredible. My spirits were lifted. I thought it was the first time, it sounds really daft, but it was the first time that I thought during that time, you know what, I want to bring this feeling to other people, because there is so many other women and men, even now, going through the same thing. And if I could be instrumental in making someone feel the way that I felt in that moment, then that's what I want to do. So it was a really slow process. It took a long time for us to get back on our feet. I kind of started making a few little products and gifting them to family and friends. And the response I got from them was the exact feeling that I had. So I thought, you know what, let's just go for it. And then, like I say, it took a while, but then everything seemed to just click into place. It was really nerve-wracking, obviously.
So tell me what was your background before this? I just want to kind of recap it for the listeners.
Yeah.
What happened is, when Michelle was receiving these essentials food bank boxes, she received in this box a little sample of cream, wasn't it? Body lotion. That's when the idea of making someone, because that made Michelle, going through that deep dark time, suddenly having that little self-care made you feel so good. You just felt, if I can feel this way in these darkest moments in my life, I'm sure I can help someone to feel that way. This is how the Breedon Perfumery has started. So I just want to know, what was your background before that? Did you have any experience in cosmetics, or?
Literally absolutely nothing. I mean, I left school with a couple of GCSEs, and then I fell pregnant with my first child when I was 17. I had her at 18, so I was really super young. But me and my husband, we kind of just got on with it, really. He was always the one that went to work, and then I decided to homeschool her. So I'd been at home for a good 10 years, and literally just been a mum. And I think sometimes as a mum, your confidence gets dinted, and you get so used to those four walls, you kind of lose your identity in a way, because you're so focused on,
become a mum.
Yeah,
as if that's your only duty in life, to be a mum.
yeah, exactly. And it is difficult, but yeah, no experience in that at all. It was almost just like a light bulb moment, really, that came. It sounds like a real cliche, but it was a light bulb in such darkness.
It's so inspirational, because a lot of women feeling stuck at home, they're feeling stuck after, especially last 2 years of pandemic,
Mhm.
feeling like stuck in the, even if they're working, maybe not as unfortunate as you have been through, but they just feel like they can't do anything, and they don't think their passion, their feeling can turn into a business that gives them a lifestyle, which you have
Yeah.
got, and
Hmm.
provides you a life. And you are an award-winning brand. You are, you're a successful, you become a successful brand, and this is so inspirational. I
Thank
love it.
you.
Just want to ask you, what was
Thank
the
you.
one piece of advice that you received all your entrepreneurial journey that made a difference in your success?
To be honest with you, it's only been very, very recently that I've actually started to believe that I can have a business. I mean, I've been going for a couple of years now, but I won an award 2 weeks ago at the Woman Who Achieves, and the judges' comments.
Yay!
I know, thank
Congratulations!
you. The judges' comments, their last comment when I was on that stage was, I hope now that she believes in herself as much as she does in her business. And I think that was a really, really instrumental time for me. And it's really flipped everything around. So I think it's only now, after all this time, because I've been so focused on the business, that I haven't been able to step back and look at myself and work on my own confidence.
It is so true. What happens is, when we start businesses in entrepreneurial world, you feel like you have to continuously invest in your business, but
Mhm.
investing in yourself as a person is actually as productive, and as
Yeah.
more what's the word I'm looking at? You actually return on investment is
Yes.
higher
Hmm.
by return investing in yourself and believing in yourself
Yeah,
is so
definitely.
it's, I can see why they said that. It's so good.
Oh,
It's so
thank
good
you.
because it takes courage to really take on that first step, to even to have a trial, to give it to your friends
Yeah.
to try.
Hmm. Definitely. Well, I think with family and friends it's different, isn't it? Their judgment is different to other people's, like, potential customers. I think your family tends to either be really honest and harsh, or because they're allowed to, or they'll be more kind than they need to be, and perhaps that's not the best thing. And I think that's the difficulty with business, isn't it? You need an outsider's perspective on
It's
things like
almost
that.
almost like you got to, I mean, I always say this and I'll say it again, is when you start in any kind of business venture, the first thing I would suggest everyone to do is start being part of a business networking group, because those women
Absolutely.
who are in that environment, in that circle, will have been through difficulties in their life,
Yeah.
and they will know what tough means, they will know what grit means, and
Yes,
that the
absolutely.
first thing they would be is just helping you to actually see through things. And there
Yeah.
will be some honest people who would say, I like your product, but what if you try this, or have you tried that?
Hmm.
And they will
Yeah.
have some these advice coming through, even if none of their advice is useful. What happens is, by hearing these different ideas, your mind that has
Yes.
got the leader inside it actually
Hmm.
creates the original idea, that they opens the doors for you. So it's so
Definitely.
important to be part of a circle, a tribe, a networking group,
Yeah,
whatever you call it in your verbal bank.
yeah,
I just feel it is so important. So were you
I
part
think
of
so.
any networking group?
I had a few ladies that I had met kind of along the way, especially during lockdown. Um, and we had kind of joined together, and I'd set up like a women in business Zoom support thing.
Lovely.
Um, but yeah, I would definitely say that having other women in your situation, like you said, regardless of what stage of their business they are at, you will always find someone who either knows an expert that can help you, who is an expert that can help you, or that you can give advice to for someone starting out, or someone kind of a bit further along the line. You will always find that common ground, because only women in business, I believe, understand other women in business.
I muted myself. I'm talking. It's so good to see. I mean, as you know, I am an advocate for women empowerment, and I'm on a mission to help everybody and inspire them through these stories, because sometimes all it takes to just to hear someone's story to kind of have that first step, to take that first step for our businesses. What would you give a little advice to someone who's feeling that they're not quite ready to start their own business, or they have started their business, but they can't seem to believe in the business or themselves to take it further? What would be your advice?
I would say, for someone who was wanting to start a business but didn't have the belief to do it, or didn't feel ready, the only advice is you will never be ready, because as a woman, your confidence will always tell you, I'll do it when, I'll do it, oh, maybe next year, or maybe this, maybe that. You will always find a reason, because that's your inner voice. So if you have a passion, and if you really, really believe in what you're going to do, then just go for it. Find as much support as you possibly can. You will find that with other women in business, and just enjoy it, be passionate, and go for it. I think that's the only advice that you need.
I love it. So don't leave it to later, tomorrow, next week. How about now, ladies?
Yes,
how about now?
Do it now.
I love it. Thank you so much, Michelle. So is there something that you would have done differently that you learned? I won't use the word failed, because I always believe that we don't fail, we learn. So is there something that you've learned on your journey that you would like to share it with our listeners, so they can learn from your experience, so they don't have to experience themselves?
You see, I don't feel all that experienced or an expert to give advice, but the only thing I would say is I wish that I had more confidence from the beginning. I think I could have created more opportunities in a shorter time scale. I think I could have grasped more. I don't know. I would say that I could have grasped more opportunities on the way. But then again, like you say, it's not a failure, because it's teaching you. So everything that I've learned so far, or every mistake that I've made in business so far, I'm grateful for, because I believe that it's a journey, isn't it? And without making mistakes, you can never learn.
That is so true. I love it. Oh, I just love talking to women who don't think they're successful, but you are phenomenal. Just want to tell you again, what you've done, what you've achieved in especially we've gone through these 2 years of pandemic. It's not been easy. It's going to be 2 years in March, won't it? It's just going. So, I know especially you have a retail store. Tell us a little bit more about what kind of things you offer in your business, and how people can actually find you.
Okay, so
in physical and online.
Yes, yeah. So we've got a physical retail shop in Witney in Oxfordshire. I like to call it the home of all things smelly, in a good way, obviously. So you can come in, you can try our perfumes, you can try our roll-on perfume oils. Everything is made with vegan-friendly ingredients, kind to skin. Everything's made on site upstairs in our shop. So handmade, especially for you. Any suggestions of fragrances that you would like, then just let us know, get in touch. We have bath and body care. We have got home fragrance, so reed diffusers, candles, etc. And I would say our standout product is wait for it, it's the longest title ever, the original Splendidly Soapy Witney soap sponge. So essentially it's a sponge.
I need to do a PhD degree on that to
Oh my gosh, I'm going to send you one. You will love it. So that's in Witney, Oxfordshire, and then our website is that's a lot of W's, www.breedonperfumery.co.uk. Then you can find us on Instagram at Breedon Perfumery Witney, or on Facebook. I'm not too great with Facebook, I'll be honest with you. That's another good lesson. I would like to learn how to use Facebook.
If your customers are there and if you can serve people through there, why not? Why not?
Exactly.
It's lovely. I'm going to put all your details on the show notes so people can actually find you as they left it there. So it's not going to be any problem. My classic question to everyone I interview is, what does confidence mean to you?
Whoa, that's a hard one. I would say confidence means acceptance. I think you don't have to look incredible. You don't have to dress incredible. You don't have to be incredible, but you just have to accept yourself. And you have to accept that even though if you don't have confidence, you are so unique and you have something to offer that nobody else has, because that is you, basically. That is what confidence means. It's about being accepting of yourself and being proud of yourself, even if it's just for the little small things. Even if you're struggling right now and are really down and really low and think that, how will anything get better? Just get out of bed. That is a massive achievement. It's all about the small things. Appreciate all of the small things that you can do today.
Oh, I love it. Michelle, thank you so much. That is so true. It's accepting yourself is one step to confidence. It is so true, because what happens is we get stuck so much about what's happening outside, what other people's expecting, that we think they expect from us. Stop achieving bigger goals. And some of us, I always say this, some of us take the stairs, some of us take the lift. And if your one is small steps, do it. It's all about progress. It's not about the end result. So just
absolutely.
It's lovely. Thank you so much, Michelle. It has been an absolute honor to have you.
Thank you for asking me.
Sharing your story with us and with my listeners. I'm sure they'll find it so inspiring. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.